I have a gem of a study to share with you today. You are going to love this, and you're going to be able to put this into practice today. This is excellent clinical research, and it's hot off the press. This is from June 2023, JSLHR. Something that I've noticed about SLHR is it's become more of a clinical journal than it has been in the past. It used to be a journal that was heavier in basic research. A lot of technologies that they reported on are simply not available to your average SLP like myself, or someone in a clinic, or someone in a private practice. However, lately the clinical research has been practices that anyone could implement today, and this is an example of this. We are going to talk about print. And first of all, I love this research article because it's 22 children with autism who are minimally speaking that they studied. Now, typically when we look at children with autism research, you can count the number of children studied on one hand. This is not the case. 22 is a really large number. Another thing that I like about this study is it has a really nice background research review. It's written so well that I'm going to read it verbatim, and it's actually going to sound good. And it's going to be clinically applicable to what you do right now. So we're talking about print here. And basically, they're saying across diverse populations, they are going to learn language more efficiently if you add print. So let me read it how they wrote it very nicely. It says under the abstract, previous research has demonstrated that typically developing children, verbal children with a diagnosis of autism, children with Down syndrome, children with developmental language disorder, and children with dyslexia can all benefit from orthographic, i.e. print, support during word learning tasks. So everyone benefits from print. So what is the purpose of this study? This study wanted to look at children who are minimally speaking with autism. Do they too learn vocabulary better if you pair it with printed words? Is there an additive effect if you add the printed word? I think you can probably guess because I'm getting really excited sharing this with you. The answer was yes. Children who are minimally speaking with autism learn vocabulary better when you pair it with print. That is what they found. So let's talk about how are you going to put print into your practice. I'm so excited to share with you this because this is a new area of my practice that I've changed this year. This past year, I'm going to give you a little bit of background. I started my SIS membership, and that's a membership in which I provide every week 100% done for you educationally rich activities and materials so that the speech pathologist or the teacher or the teaching assistant or the ABA therapist can focus on the moment-to-moment interaction, and they have the educationally rich activity all done for them. So that's the idea behind the activity. And what I did is I up-leveled my own intervention, and I added print in every single step of the therapy activity. I'm going to share that with you today. Now, what I noticed when I added print in every single step of the intervention, the children who were minimally speaking with autism, the children with language delays, they were talking more. What I noticed was when I added all of this print, the language samples were growing in length and diversity and number of different words spoken. Now, I did not research this. Had I researched this, I would have had two groups, one that didn't have the print and one that did have the print. And I felt that would be unethical because it was so obvious to me that the children were looking at the printed word and saying it. For me to take that printed word away would be very unethical because I'm taking away how you learn language. You learn language with your eyes instead of your ears, and I'm going to take that away from you. How many children were benefiting across my caseload from having print embedded in every aspect of the activity? I'm going to share with you what I do in my SIS membership. I'm going to share with you my secrets. And when I started it, I was like, oh my goodness. These kids are talking so much more. oh my goodness, these children are loving reading. I noticed such great gains. Listen to their vocabulary. They're learning these diverse vocabulary words. This is amazing. So I qualitatively observed it, not by doing what I typically a split design in which I keep everything the same and I just change one variable. No, I just noticed a huge difference. So I talked to my SIS members and I'm like, are you noticing too that children are reading the printed words that they're holding in their hands and on the signs and on the checklist, and they're saying all of these words and their vocabulary is exploding? And my SIS members were noticing it too. This is just the research, what I'm sharing with you today. What JSLHR found was like, yes, we are finding this too. If you add that printed word to the intervention, you're going to have improvements in them learning new words. Let's talk about what I do. So the first step is I have a sound of the week party. So I'm going to give you an example of a blend I did recently. Here we have the SK blend. So when you go to my room, it says we're having a ska party. And then they walk into the room and there's two signs and the children are going to pick between station A or station B. So there's going to be two activities. One is more speech related and the other one is more language related. So the children get to pick A or B. Once again, they're using print every step of the way in a meaningful manner to make a choice. Then they're going to go and sit down. I'm going to tell you, I have the children seated when they do their treatment target because my treatment targets are challenging. It does create change. If you're talking speech, if you're talking language, if you're talking literacy, if you're talking augmentative communication. So I need them to give me 100% of their cognitive load on that speech target. So in my SIS membership, I developed my speech targets, and these are gold because the speech targets I researched, and I researched every detail, and every word matters. It matters if you're going to say splash, or it matters if you're going to say spray. It matters if you're going to say free, or if you're going to say drop. You're going to get very different results. I tested them out on the children to see what was most effective and what the kiddos liked and the parents liked. So here I have my treatment target cards. I'm just showing it to you on YouTube. We have speech, language, literacy, augmentative communication cards, and there's print. The children read the cards. So we have the treatment target that they do where they're giving 100% of their effort. It's kind of like dumbbells. You're not going to give someone 50-pound dumbbells and say, go walk around with these and do whatever you please. Someone's going to get injured, okay? We want them to focus on their form and their accuracy. We want them to go slowly. So I have them seated. Some children don't like to sit. In that case, they're standing in an area that's distraction-free zone. Let's get to the next step. Then they pick a sticker out of the box. So for instance, this week we have a skillet for the SK sound with vegetables on it. There's also a skillet with meat on it, and we're going to categorize that. So they're going to grab out of the box their sticker. They like the word stickers. And then they get to read the sticker. So this is a carrot, and then they get to find the object that matches the carrot. So in one hand, they have the three-dimensional toy carrot. In the other, they have the word, the carrot. As you can see, we're using print in a meaningful manner through every step of the process. They read it. Okay, what do we need to find? They need to find the carrot, right? To put in the skillet so we can cook up the veggies in the skillet. So they're going to go find the carrot. Okay, great. Next, they need to look at the signs. Okay, where are you going to go? Are you going to go to that side of the room where meat is cooking? Or are you going to go to this side of the room where the vegetables are cooking over here? So you can see this is more of a vocabulary activity. The other activity is going to be an S blend in which you have S blend simplification. Nonetheless, getting back to my point, they're reading the sign. There's the carrots, big word, bold print, vegetables. Go in that direction. What we're doing is we're using print concept. We're using print to answer questions, to solve problems. This is something that is very challenging for children with autism. They might be able to read, but they don't know the why. Why am I reading? What does this number stand for? That's the price. That's how much it costs. What does that word exit mean? That's how you get out. Vegetables go here, go in that direction. After that, they're going to come back and they're going to check their checklist. Now, every step of this process, I use Cocoa Puff print. My favorite is League Spartan. I use the League Spartan boldest print to grab these children's attention to the print. Next, they come back and they need to check their checklist. Once again, all of the words are printed in bold print, and they get to check the checklist. So they just found the carrot and they put it in the skillet because they're chefs and they're cooking. They're going to check the carrot off of their ingredient checklist for the skillet. So that is how I integrate print in a meaningful manner. And you heard the why. Why are you putting print on the door when they read the sign what they're going to do today? That's kind of like when you see a book. You know the title of the story, right? Why is it that you walk in and you use print to make a choice? It makes print meaningful. You read the sign, figure out what you want to do, and then you make a choice. Why is it that you come down and you read the print for the treatment target? Because once again, they're going to learn it more quickly when you have the print. And also, the print means that I can stop talking. The sooner I stop talking, the better. When we're talking, we're doing their push-ups for them. I don't care who the child is. When you're talking, you're doing the word retrieval, you're doing the motor planning, you're doing the motor programming, you're doing the execution, and the child simply along for the ride. You gotta stop talking as soon as possible and as much as possible, maintaining an 80% criterion. So those are all of the steps of my SIS activities. So I myself am a member of SIS. I'm a paying member of my own membership. I use my own activities. Why? Because my job when I go into therapy is to be present and to show up. Because magic is going to happen in the moment-to-moment interactions in which we are dynamically responding to one another. So for instance, 1 second, the child is going to need 100% support. The next second, the child's not going to need support. And you need to be all in. When you show up in therapy, the child is going to show up in therapy. And that's when the change is going to happen. So that's why I love the SIS activities. It's all prepped, ready, and done. It's kind of like how I go to an Orange Theory class. I'm a certified fitness instructor. I'm a certified yoga teacher. I'm certified in a million different fitness programs. When I work out, what matters is that I show up. If I want to create change, I need to show up. If I am with a list of exercises, I've got my stopwatch on, I have a music playlist, my energy is diverted. My energy is diverted to here, there, and everywhere. Instead, what's important is that I can go and I can give it my all, because that's when change happens, and then I can recover. And then I can give it all, and then I can recover. These principles of intervention, high intensity interval training, which is what works when you have a small amount of time, is what's going to work in your speech therapy. You only have 30 to 45 minutes a week to create change for these children. I use my Google Slide stack in my membership, and I send that home because that is going to have an added effect in which you're going to get added improvement in speech, language, and literacy through home practice, through digital means, with digital media done intelligently. This is not video games. This is not fireworks. This is not stimulating the child's amygdala. These are Google Slides. So what I'm talking about here is working smarter, not harder. But how is it that you're going to have the printed word on every single activity that you do? That has to do with having that done for you. So I encourage you to check out the SIS membership. This week, I'm going to be sending out a library of treatment target cards that I have researched, and they are highly effective. And you're going to have the treatment target cards. So when you have 55 children on your caseload, and they all have something different, and they all have different unique goals, you can do the same activity. Their treatment target card will be different. You're working on language. You're working on speech. You're working on augmented communication. You're working on fluency. That will change, but the activity is going to stay the same. The activity is educationally rich. The activity treats the whole child. This is what every child benefits from, is a good educationally rich activity. As I was mentioning before about Orange Theory or Peloton classes, if you've ever been to them, you're going to see all shapes and sizes in those classes. For instance, I have a professional athlete. He'll be on one side of me. And then on the other side of me, I have a lady that is just had shoulder surgery. We're all doing hammer curls. He has 50 pounds. Think of them as different treatment targets. I have 25s. She has 8. We are only doing 6 reps. Is challenge creating change? Yes. He's working at his challenge point. I'm working at my challenge point. She's working at her challenge point. We're all doing a total body movement to make the most out of a minimal amount of time. So it's about working smarter, not harder. And that's how you're going to create change in every single child you work with. Challenge creates change. But what's important is that when you go into that therapy room, you are showing up. You are 100% present. And when you are 100% present in the interaction, that's when magic's going to occur. You have the educationally rich activity there. The child will be too, and you'll have this transactional effect in which the child's giving 100%, you're giving 100%, fireworks. And you have this wonderful, I call it bone broth vegetable soup. It's like all of things good, right? Just put together. Big pot of soup that the child's consuming in the educational activity. That is how you put research into practice. And I just couldn't wait to share with you that JSLHR article. That is one of those articles that is going to propel us forward and say, you know what? It's worth that extra step to take that visual classroom and to put the printed word on every single picture. These are the game changers. It's a detail, but it's a detail that matters. And it doesn't matter for some children. It matters for every single child you work with. So that is a little game changer for you. I want you to take all of this information. Make sure to check out the SIS membership. I want you to get the Library of Treatment target cards that I'm sharing this weekend. I'm going to be sending them out in this Friday's email, a whole library in one email so that you can easily access whatever treatment target card that you need. So look at the SIS membership. It is wonderful. It's at kellyvest.com/SIS. I also have on YouTube a recent training, and I went through everything that SIS provides, which is a lot, because I want everything at your fingertips in one place so that you can focus on the interaction, so that you can show up, because that's when the magic happens. I do it. This is what I do. I use my own SIS activities so that I can be 100% present and I can really create lifelong change for these children. I can't do that if I'm hustling, bustling around, pulling activities together, going left and right. My attention is diverted. It needs to be focused. So take all of this information, roll up your sleeves, and make the world a better place, one child at a time. You're always going to be first.